Perry wants to have his say on the Newcastle situation that Steve Bruce has decided to give the players who aren't in international break, on international duty, 6 days off. And Perry's got a problem with it.
So, well, it's been, some reports say 6, some reports say 5, don't they? There's a bit of a
5 or 6 days
difference of opinion. But when I just sort of read that, and you just think, I didn't get it, and it didn't sit well with me. Where I'm a bit old school, where, and you probably say when you played, Jay, if you won on you or you was playing well, then you got a day off. That was, midweek maybe, like playing on Tuesday, get a Wednesday off, or if you ain't got a midweek game, you'd win on the Saturday, train Monday, Tuesday, and you earned your right to have the days off. But it's still not a good look for the situation that Newcastle in anyway, because one, they haven't earned their days off, right, at all.
But see,
right?
Let me just stop you there, right? That old school was that if you it was used as a treat, as a
yes,
practice,
that's what you
but
said.
also as a punishment. And I felt like that's
wrong. A day off as a punishment?
No. If you didn't win, or then you'll get dragged in, or you didn't play. So I think there's different ways you can use this, right? Because they've not played well. And look, I'm not quite sure whether having 6 days off is a good or a bad thing, right?
No, Jay, you can't. You've got to say it's a good thing or a bad thing.
No, because we don't know the situation behind there. This has been a season like no other. 6 days off might actually be a good thing.
How? Explain to me.
Because of the amount of football that's been played, okay? Mentally, those players have gone through, whether they played well or not, it's been a demanding season for them.
Every team's had a demanding season.
Of course. So every team, so if a team was mid-table and there's 6 days off, you wouldn't have a problem with it.
All depends what their performance has been like in the last couple of days.
That's what I'm saying. So you're treating it as a punishment,
No.
What I'm saying is, it doesn't. If you just because you're playing bad doesn't stop you being tired.
Are Newcastle and their players, right, for 6 days off, going to be any better
Don't know,
as a team, as a spirit?
Possibly.
Because there's so many things.
Possibly.
Right. They won't, Jay.
How do you know?
Because there's so many things going on wrong with the team and individually. You can still work on stuff individually. Like they're not scoring goals, for instance, right? So those strikers are still at the club. So you think having 6 days off is going to make their finishing better?
What? No.
Right, let me finish. Let me finish. You just said...
No, but I'm just saying.
Let me finish.
No, I won't. I'm answering that question. You've asked me a question.
But I've got...
Did you just ask me a question?
Go on, then.
So what I'm saying is, they've been training all week, all season.
Oh, they must be really tired.
What I'm saying is, how do you not know having a 4 or 5, whatever his days off is going to have a detrimental effect?
It will have a detrimental effect because they're not going to get better. Their team shape ain't going to get better. Their tactics aren't going to get better.
They're not going to just go straight into the games. There will be training sessions between when they go back and then have the game.
Yes, but they're giving 6 days off, right? So they're not in the training ground for 6 days. So whether you're a fullback, right, and you can work on, even if it's for half an hour, right, or 40 minutes, you work on getting closer to the wide man. You work on stopping crosses, which Newcastle aren't doing. Right. So if you're doing, I'm not saying don't have any days off. I'm saying 6. So if you've got this 9-day period, you can still come in and do. If the analysts are saying to them again, they're in the red zone or they're led by the sports scientists.
Yes,
now,
there's
right?
all of that now.
Right. So you can still do a bit of team shape. You can still do functional play, right? You can still even come in. Their spirit is rubbish at the minute, Newcastle. They were awful against Brighton, right?
Yeah.
No effort really against Brighton.
It was shocking.
Right, so their spirit ain't... So you can still do things that can try and galvanise team spirit rather than all being at home with their families. Having a couple of days off in that mid-break. So why not come in for 3 days, right? Have 2 off and then come in for the next 4.
That's fine. But what I'm saying is, I don't see it as a punishment.
It's ridiculous.
Well,
it's absolutely ridiculous.
We will find out.
So you think that even if Steve Bruce was advised by his sports analysts and these scientists and all that sort of stuff, right? From the outside, you should be being seen to be doing everything you possibly can to get yourself out of the trouble that they've got, right?
And when you're talking about the fans now.
No, I'm talking...
Are you talking about how we look at it?
Fans, right? Newcastle fans,
but the Newcastle fans batter the club anyway. I feel their pain.
Well, don't leave yourself open then.
Well, that's Steve Bruce's job.
That's another stick
got to leave that down to Steve Bruce.
As a football man, he's left himself open to be beaten with. So, well, hold on a minute.
Steve Bruce has been around the block a long time, right?
So when they come back, I think their first game back is Spurs at home, right? Having 6 days off...
If they beat Spurs...
If he'll be right, but then you've got to have more than that after Spurs, right? So if they get beat, which is every chance, he's leaving himself even open even more. You should be and even as a player, my conscience
Well, they might do stuff at home, Perry.
no.
See, this is the thing. We don't actually know the
No,
whole
my
situation.
conscience would not let me have those 6 days off.
Well, they might do stuff
because
at home.
I'd be going in.
They might do.
You think the players are going to go in?
Well, like you said,
They
you
shouldn't
would.
be given. Yeah, but there's something wrong at that football club, right? Having 6 days off in a period of 9 days isn't going to help putting anything right, and they're not trying to put anything right by going, I can get the clear the mind, psychologically, and get yourself clear of everything, right? That's a couple of days. What they're doing, because if they could get away, they would probably go away with the team.
A bit of warm weather.
Yes, right?
A bit of warm weather.
Training
They
or
might do it.
bonding. They're not doing anything in those 6 days.